I actually begged a guy to give me his address so I could get on a plane, meet him, and beat the hell out of him. When it comes to social media, I really have mixed feelings. On one hand, I really enjoy checking out my favorite drummers. Or bands. They matter too. I like knowing what's going on. Oh great, the Architects just released a new record. Mike Portnoy has a new ride cymbal. I like that. I like having that sort of access. On the other side of things, I have all this access to stuff I could do without. Like ads. There's too many ads. Like way too many ads. Seems like every other post these days is an advertisement. That's what I said, an advertisement. And another thing, people certainly don't seem to be too concerned about oversharing on social media. By all means, you do you. I'm just not sure that the rest of the world really needs to know what you had for breakfast and lunch and the news that your recent hemorrhoid flare-up isn't going to require immediate surgery is something that might be best left between you and your family doctor. But what the hell do I know? I make videos based on fart jokes. So who am I to throw stones? At least most of this stuff isn't exactly harmful, but it can be. And that's what today's video is about. What happens when things go too far or when things get out of hand? Well, that's exactly the situation I found myself in a few years ago. It was around Christmas time and I was wrapping a few presents. Out of nowhere, this random idea seemed to find its way into my head. Now, I don't know if you're like me. My condolences if you are. But I'll have ideas or miscellaneous thoughts just drop into my head at the strangest times. There's usually no reason for it. It just shows up. Kind of like Cousin Eddie.
Merry Christmas! Dinner was full!
In all seriousness, it really was around Christmas time. And for some reason, I just couldn't help but think of all the people that might be alone on Christmas. So without thinking anything through, I stopped what I was doing and I ran upstairs to my office and jumped on social media. Now, for some of you folks that have been with me for a while, you may actually remember this exact Christmas post. If so, that just means you're probably old. I'm not old, you understand. I'm young and vibrant. But you're probably super old. So I sat down at my computer and I just started typing. I explained that I was thinking a lot about the people that might be alone that year. Then I listed my email address and I basically said, if anyone has lost someone this year, I don't want you to feel alone. So if you wake up on Christmas morning and feel alone, I want you to contact me. And I want you to email me your phone number. If you give me your phone number, I promise I'll call you on Christmas Day. Then I begged everyone to please be sensitive to others and only send your email if you really needed someone. In other words, this wasn't an open invitation to talk about bass drum pedals, snare drums, or anything along those lines. This was also presented as a very humble gesture, not because I thought I was someone special. I just didn't want anyone to feel alone. So I hit post, and I went back to wrapping Christmas presents. The next morning I got out of bed, and I couldn't help but notice one of the comments on the post. And I went insane. All jokes aside, I really went insane. Some random guy left a comment saying, "Who do you think you are? You're just some shit drummer no one cares about." And it went on and on. Then at the end, he made some random comment about how he could kick my ass. Usually I'm pretty good about those kinds of things. But this felt different. I couldn't understand it. Why would you take such a selfless act and turn it into something ugly? Why? I'm trying to be nice to people who really need it, and for that, you're saying you're going to kick my ass. I know a lot of you don't know me, but I'm not the kind of guy that just goes off. However, I went off, like way off. I chose not to respond to his comment because that ship had already sailed. I really wasn't interested in a battle of words on social media. I wanted his damn address. So I sent him a private message, and I told him exactly what I thought. And I openly shared my intentions, which was to beat the hell out of him. Again, I don't want to come across as some hothead, because that's just not the case.
He's trying to do it with me! Ah, cut it out!
Kick him in the nads, Beavis.
But this guy on social media really managed to press a special button with me. So I waited for his response. I didn't hear anything. About every 15 minutes or so, I'd check my phone, but I never got anything. Finally, I got fed up, so I sent him a second message. I told him he didn't have to give me his address. I said, I'll give you mine. In hindsight, that likely wasn't the best decision I've ever made, but at the time, I just didn't care. I checked my phone again and again. Still no response. So I sent him a third message. I said, you pick the location and the time, and I'll be there. Again, no response. So I jumped right back on social media. Then I noticed he deleted his comment. And he blocked me. Well, you little shit. And that was the end of it. I wasn't able to send him anything after that. I finally settled down around 11 p.m. Yeah, it took that long. And it dawned on me. I'd spent the entire day checking my inbox to see if this guy was going to reply. The entire day. And here's the point I want you to understand. I allowed this to happen. That's on me. I could have just as easily read that comment and said, well, yeah, okay, whatever. Then made some breakfast and maybe had a productive day. However, I made the decision to engage with that. I invested about 14 hours in this nonsense. And for what? I allowed some mystery person to sabotage my entire day. Now, this is likely the strange part. I can't begin to tell you how grateful I am that it happened, because I learned a really valuable lesson that day. Now, I'm really fortunate. I honestly don't get a lot of hate on this channel, so I really don't have to deal with a lot of that. But the reason I wanted to make this video is for you guys. Please don't be an idiot like I was and allow yourself to get baited into this kind of nonsense. You're likely arguing with people you'll never even meet. And it's unlikely you're going to change their mind. If someone believes a certain thing, they're probably going to continue to believe a certain thing. And that's fine. They have the right to believe whatever they want. However, you have the right to not engage. I know sometimes it can be tempting, but it's seldom worth your investment. I've never really understood the troll mentality. I know I've mentioned this before, but I really enjoy the History Channel a great deal. I also get a lot of sports channels on my network, but I really don't care much for sports. So I watch the History Channel instead. And I've never felt the need to try and get the sports channels banned. I just changed the channel. Kinda weird, isn't it? Oh, one last thing, because I'm sure someone's going to ask. Did anyone email me their phone number regarding the Christmas post? And if so, did I call them all on Christmas Day? And the answer is yes and yes. All right, guys, that's going to do it for this one. I hope you found some value from the video, and the continued support is greatly appreciated. And as always, if you haven't already subscribed, I wouldn't bother. However, if you've enjoyed the video, maybe give it a like. It actually helps me out. And for those interested in merchandise, please visit store.themaddrummer.com. Thanks for watching. And I've never felt the need to try and get any of the sports channels banned. I don't know if that's really true. Now, I'm really fortunate. I honestly don't have a lot of hate on this channel yet. And that was that. I wasn't able to send him anything after that. That's a lot of that's. And for those interested in merchandise, please visit, well, hell. And it's unlikely you're going to change their mind. What an understatement. How long did that one take? Like 2 hours? Whew.